Spring starts in about 5 days, and if you miss one of these 5 gardening jobs that I'm about to show you, you are going to miss up to a month of potential growth, maybe more, maybe less. Final prune and cleanup. Roses, fruit trees, all of the winter wood is gone. It's really quite simple what you got to do. Just cut all the dead and crossing branches, as well as all of the offshoots that are not part of the main tree. Keep in mind the main tree is the part you want to keep. So in other words, just get rid of the branches you don't want to shape the tree for its health and vigor if you want vigor. It's really just as simple as that. As for the spring cleanup, when you are done pruning, or when really in general you find leaves on the ground, now is the time to pick it up. Leaves, branches, stems, if you want to call it that, pick it up. Especially on stone fruit, because stone fruit is one of those trees that are really, it's a really good thing when it is, but it can also be a really bad thing, especially when it comes to dropping stuff like this. But that leads us to the next job. The next one being composting. And there is 2 things you're generally doing with composting at this time. And it usually involves this, which I'll get to in a minute, or the actual stuff you put in the compost bin. As you saw, I just clipped these peach cuttings from my tree, which you can probably see in the frame somewhat. You're either finishing off putting stuff inside the compost bin, because that's generally what I find I at least do at this time. I'm generally pretty much fully filled up the compost bin, or where you are is letting your compost sit, because it is now the time for when heat is coming. And what does heat do? Heats up the bin, speeds up the microbes, but it can't work without a bit of aeration, which is why, especially in Australia, this tool is very common. You can find it, I got this from Bunnings, but you can find it most places. Now, I'm not fully full, and I only just turned this morning. I should have waited for the video, but just to give a rough demonstration, outside the bin, just put it in, you twist it, it'll go down, just lift it up, and it's as simple as that. Composting, now is when you want to do it, because it's starting to speed up, starting to get even more warm, so it means you need to manage it more. Fun times. Yeah, not really. Well, depends who you are. Now it's time for what most people come for. Planting time. What goes in the garden beds and directly into the ground now? Pumpkins, tomatoes, any kind of squash. You know, the general veggies, they're all pretty much got the okay to go on the ground now. What you want to direct sow into the ground, which I mean by is seed, is herbs. That is the big thing now, is herbs. This is like one of the, I sound dramatic, but this is one of the best times to do it, in my opinion. Have I done it at the moment? No. It's just personal opinion, is it is a bit too cold where I am, that's why everything looks a bit better. Other than the actual trees and things in pots. But it doesn't mean you can't do it now. It's just my personal preference that in my exact location, I don't think it's ideal for most of them. For one of my favourites, it's time to check on the tropical and exotic plants, like my mamey sapote here. Really, it's simple what you got to do. Check for disease, check for sunburn, check for damage. The basic thing is that you got to do now is prune to the degree you can, mulch. That's the 2 big things to do right now. Do not fertilize yet. Give it a week, maybe a bit longer. My cacao, which is over here, which I'll transition to in the greenhouse. It is done really well, surprisingly, but I think that is solely to do with the greenhouse. It is put on new leafy growth. It is doing good. It has a lot of frost burn too, even though it has been in the greenhouse. There's not much you can do about frost burn once it's done, but believe me, it will get better. It's warming up. Cacaos love the heat. And finally, as number 5, it's time to start propagating. Now you may be asking, why have I got this? This is a little trick I know. It's not really uncommon, you can see it all over YouTube, but I still use it, I'm still going to promote it. It's a bottle, right? 1.25 litre bottle. You can buy this from Coles with most drinks if you're in Australia. All I did, I don't have the other half, I just cut the base off. What do you do with the base? Use it as a pot. You propagate the cuttings, whether it be a rose, whether it be a fig. Those two are generally very easy. This is like a mini greenhouse. It's just a little trick. Anyway, it is propagation time. Not everything you can do, unfortunately. There is some things that is not ideal at this time, but generally most things you can. So if you want to do that trick, I find it pretty good with figs and roses. That's why I use the example mainly. But now's the time to do like your fruit trees, start your fruit trees. Most things you can do now. Alright, now that my head's back on my shoulders, it's time for the end of the video. Thank you for watching. If you found it useful, or just all around enjoyed it, I'd appreciate if you gave it a like, or if you subscribed, either or will do. Ideally both. But anyway, now that it's becoming spring again, I will be doing more videos. Hopefully I have my head for most of them. Alright. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.